Hi, my name is Faith Borkowski, and I'm the founder of High Five Literacy and Academic Coaching. I'm here again with Lisa Sparkles of the Lisa Sparkles Ballroom and Latin Dance Studio. So today we're going to talk about cyclical review. So think about how you might have learned something a while ago, and then when you pick it up again, you forgot everything you learned.
Yeah.
So one thing that's important when we're teaching children or adults, and it doesn't matter what it is, reading, dancing, you always go back to old material. Children forget, adults forget, we all forget, and it's very important to go back to the basics, go back to older material, and to review again. So I'd like to hear from Lisa as far as what she feels about cyclical review in dance.
Well, what I think is so important when people are learning to dance is so many people just want to learn one dance at a time.
Yes.
And when they do that, what happens is, sometimes 6 months or even a year goes by before they get back to that first dance that they learned. So I try to encourage students to learn more than one dance at a time.
Yes, you do.
This way we get to a place where maybe there's dances you're not as interested in, but if you're learning those things, we have to make sure that we come back and spend even a little bit of time on that dance. So let's say you're learning foxtrot, swing, and cha-cha, for example. And for 3 weeks we focused on foxtrot and swing. I have to make sure as your teacher that I remember to come back and cycle back around and do a little bit of cha-cha maybe for the next few lessons, even if it's just a little bit, to reinforce that muscle memory so it really sticks up there. So again, even if we wait a few weeks, when we come back to it, it's stronger. I tell my students that the file is up there somewhere. We just have to bring it back to the front.
Absolutely, and that's so true. I know that when we come to Lisa for dancing, there are times when we just want to do one dance. Let's just work on this. And she's smart by telling us, you know what, just leave it there, let it marinate for a little bit, and then we'll come back to it. And it's the same thing with reading. I try to do a little bit, perhaps, of word work. Then we might do some spelling. Then we might do some writing. It breaks things up in the lesson. Yeah. And also when we do get back to it, we're trying to keep it going. And like you said, that muscle memory is so important. And we always need to revisit what we learned before.
Yeah, and I find that sometimes when people are having a difficult time learning something, it's actually better to just move away.
Absolutely.
Move on.
Such a good point.
Right? Do something else that might be similar to it, that all of a sudden somebody gets that confidence, so when you do cycle back around to the other dance, all of a sudden they're like, that was easy. I was able to do that. And so it always is so important to come back to things, but then maybe if someone's having a difficult time, work on something else that's similar enough that by the time you get back to what you're working on, it's easier for them to do.
Yes, and you know what we would call that distributed practice. Really, that's what it is. You're trying to just give them a little bit of information and then eventually come back. And many times they'll get it, where if you keep going over the same thing and they're not successful, they'll have a block.
Yes.
And it's hard to break that block. So you give yourself a little distance and come back to it.
Yeah, that's 100% true. And to be fair, the whole marinating thing definitely comes from Mitch. Mitch is the one who always says to me, Lisa, let's let that marinate a little bit, and then we move on to the next thing.
Yes, oh, look at her giving credit. So, all right, we're going to finish this section on cyclical review. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.